Hello there, Virgo, and welcome to your monthly forecast. This is for the month of April. I can't wait to see what's coming through for you this month, and just a quick reminder before we get started that you can always use these videos for your sun, your rising, and also for your moon sign. And of course, if there's someone in your life that you care about, you can also watch this video for them. The way I organize the readings each month is to separate it into 3 parts. I'll begin in just a moment with the channeled information. Then I move into a full Celtic cross where I look at all of the energies of the month, and then I expand it to look specifically at the areas of health, wealth, love, and destiny. If you like what you see here, stick around until the end. I always give some information on different ways that you can give back, from joining me across the social media networks to joining me on Patreon, or if you'd like to book an appointment as well. I'll put a little of that information right below the video, but let's go ahead now and get into the forecast. Each and every month, I select a deck of cards and then I meditate to see what kind of imagery comes through. As I was doing that for your sign, the main thing that I picked up on was this sense of discovery or reveal, or things revealing themselves to you, I should say. And it's almost as if you're an archaeologist this month, using your intuition. And for some of you, maybe physically sort of digging through things, going through files, or if you have any sort of contracts or things in front of you, making sure that you really comb through them. The other intuitive download that I got was someone removing a mask. So for some of you, I want you to look at people in your life that you're either having some questions about or that maybe you've overlooked before because you didn't see their true potential. This could either be, again, a hidden motive or an untapped resource in your life. And as you sort of open really your third eye to what the truth of that person is, they will either reveal themselves to you or you'll be able to discover that this is going to open up new relationship clarity for you. You'll either want to perhaps go into a relationship or come out of one, but for some of you it's important to do a little bit of, it's really more symbolic digging and see what's beneath that projection that people are kind of putting into your life of who they are. So take time, meditate, also just honor your first impressions and your gut instinct, which really is sometimes, with relationships, it could be your third chakra giving you a sign. It's important this month. Pay attention to all your chakras and all your senses, and whenever you have some time to sort of go a little bit deeper, do that. It's going to reveal important truths, and in some cases it's going to help you see something that's an opportunity, or it could prevent a potential pitfall. So let's go ahead now without any further delay and look at the cards and see what additional insights they have to yield for this month. I'm going to remain quiet at this point. As you know, I like to take a look at the cards and their positions just like you, and it gives me a chance to also absorb any sort of intuitive information. So after I've shuffled these and laid out the cross, I will rejoin you, and thank you for your patience. You have a wonderful card in your catalyst position this month. I really love the dragonfly. Much like a moth or a butterfly, this can be a symbol of change. It's also highly spiritual. It's a connection to your higher source. Now, what I like about this one is that I really get the sense of fluid motion or quick change if you want to sort of embrace that kind of energy. I'm going to pull the camera down for a second, and I think there's a lot of areas in your life where this fluidity, this rapid change is going to be something that you're ready for. Self-confidence and finances, any sort of either fears or pain in your life, because ultimately what I see is a shifting towards being in a place where you're free of this, where opportunity, where abundance can come in. I'm actually reminded of the core pieces of the word guru, which is from darkness to light. Many of you may know that I went through Kundalini yoga teacher training. I don't teach right now, but it was a beautiful awakening for me. And I love the sort of frequency and vibration of Sanskrit words. And yeah, as I'm looking at that, that's what I'm sort of seeing for you, is that you're either going to find your inner guidance. You might seek out some guidance from someone else, but I think that Spirit is there no matter what to help you out. And that's really what the dragonfly is indicating. A catalyst is a change agent in your life. It can accelerate things. And so this month, the more you connect to your source through meditation, through trust, and through releasing things like fear, indecisiveness, pain, etc., the more you're going to be able to get into the light. So we're going to talk through everything. I'll do my best to kind of help you find your inner guru, and hopefully we can get you into that place of enlightenment. Let's take a look at your center card here. We have the Ten of Cups, and it's in reverse. The positive aspects of this card are that you have an ability this month to really draw in the type of people that you might need for a project, for any sort of situation. If you're trying to organize an event, or if you're just looking to kind of engage more with friends, with family, or to date, whatever. There's a lot of friendship and family and community energy that seems to want to come to you this month. The reversal of this card is a warning that you basically don't overcommit or overextend yourself. There is also sort of a gentle nudge for you to put up proper limits and boundaries in your life. Sometimes when you get this, it can be a segue into a Ten of Swords card, which we see here in the near future. So you go from these really great sort of intentions at the beginning, trying to get everything done, to feeling that maybe it can't work, and then this can lead to an argument, or it can lead to you sort of just getting tired and being unable to do it, a sick day, etc. So the first thing that I'm kind of seeing at the middle of this is to be very realistic and to be real with yourself and others. If on an intuitive level you have this feeling that you just don't want to or you can't do something, honor that this month and know that by doing this, not only are you going to free yourself of what we saw crossing this card, the Nine of Swords, which is stress, but you're also going to open up an opportunity for someone else. Basically, you'll be able to relax a little bit, someone else will have a growth opportunity, and the fact that we see even here a Ten of Cups card shows me that there's a good team around you. So lean on them a little bit, engage them. That's the sign of a good leader. And that brings us to the deep past. We have the King of Wands card in reverse, and sometimes this particular arrangement of the card can indicate that there's too much work going on internally. You could be overthinking things, you could be closed off a little bit, or there may be sort of like a focus, like with blinders on, about what's going on just in front of you, rather than sort of looking at the overall surroundings, the team, the family, the friends, the neighbors. So I want you to open up your eyes, open up your empathic ability this month, look around, stay engaged and stay open, and then don't be afraid to delegate and to share, because this is the best card in the deck when it comes to having good business organization, being a leader, having great ideas. I want this person to lead my project. When it's reversed, it's showing me that something is off a little bit, often because there's stress or doubt, or because there might be some sort of a team dynamic that is off. So whatever's going on, try to deal with that as soon as possible, knowing that this really did show up in the past. So I feel like some of the lessons have already been learned, but at the beginning of the month, there's a reminder to say no if you need to, put up boundaries if you need to, communicate any sort of things that are upsetting you with a coworker, a family member, a loved one earlier than later, and then just let go a little bit. Because once you do that, then you sort of open up your heart space, you create opportunities for new things to flow in, and the healing can begin. The next three cards that I see are very much related. We're going to start off with recent past here, which is the Two of Swords. This is one of the sort of, for me, the least intense sword cards that you can get. It's basically just encouraging you to take a leap of faith. If we look at your ego card and this is really the solution to what's going on here. Taking action, moving forward, not second guessing yourself, that's really key. And I would say that's the only message that I'm really receiving with the Two of Swords is don't get in the way of what you know you need to do. Feel it out, don't overthink it. And so your intuition, spirit is going to bring you in the right direction, and it's going to allow you to make that movement that you, I think, so eagerly want to make this month. In your crowning position, there's a reminder to focus on your health. If there's anything that doesn't feel good, take care of that, because we have the Five of Pentacles leading into the Ten of Swords. Both are reversed, which is showing that you can mute the energy that you're seeing here. So I really want you to focus on how well you're sleeping this month. And one thing that I kept picking up, you probably saw me touch my head a couple of times. I felt like some of you might be getting either a migraine or a headache, or feeling the stress kind of aggregating around the head space. I want you to be very careful. If that persists, obviously go to the doctor. That can be an indication of something else. It can also be dehydration, but if this persists, you need to get it taken care of and looked at. But I think that the key thing to do is to sort of face head on whatever that decision or fear that you have kind of building up this month, and let it go and release it. And then you're going to find that your sleep is better, that your health is better. And for those of you that might be suffering from headaches or migraines, that's probably going to cease to exist as well. With the Ten of Swords, this can also indicate sort of a flare-up of any sort of chronic illnesses or chronic fatigue that you might have. And so more than ever, it's important to take care of everything that we just talked about. So I feel like the big thing for you is to either say no, to push back a little bit, or to make a decision. All of the cards around the center seem to sort of be tensing energy around that need to make movement, which is what we see in the ego. After you do that, everything releases and starts to go into a better trajectory. So the ego card is basically open communication, positive feelings and affirmations about yourself and your future, and mantras that are also in that same high frequency range. So don't be afraid to make some time to write positive things in a journal, listen to music, surround yourself with people, do things in your life that also kind of impart that positive energy within your body. So good time for exercise, yoga, talking to someone as well if you have a therapist in your life. All of these things can shift the shadow energy that we saw into positive light energy, which is what this month is all about for you, from shadows to light. This month could present some challenges when it comes to travel. You might be overdue for a break. You also may have some trouble when you're trying to book a holiday, a trip, or some sort of engagement that requires you to get in some sort of an automobile and move. So take your time, be persistent with that. And the one good aspect of having this King of Wands in reverse is attention to detail. So this is the one area that I do want you to be sort of razor focused and make sure that you're not missing something, because you could easily sort of have times mixed up or dates mixed up, and that would be an unfortunate error. This is also sort of a spiritual journey card. And you'll notice that there's always a space for someone to come back or something to come back. Some of you may just be in a place where you need to separate yourself from something in your life, a person, a way of living, maybe even taking a sabbatical from a job, because as we look at the energy that some of you might be feeling over your work situation, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of difficulty in making decisions. There may not be people paying you or respecting you the way that you want. And if this is something that you need some time to make a decision about, is it time to move on? Should I stay here? Maybe there's an option like a sabbatical or, like I said, a vacation. Get yourself away from this stress if you can, and I think it will be a really positive move for you. I mentioned work here, but it can really be anything in your life. It could be a relationship, it could be a place that you're living. It just seems like you need a change of environment and a change of thinking. And this change, I think, is the dragonfly. Once you allow for that separation to happen, clarity comes in. And this is, for some of you, the big reveal. Once you step away from something and have time to sort of be not influenced by all of the energy, the stress, or the chatter that exists there, all of a sudden your own thoughts populate your head and you know exactly what to do. Your heart tells you, it points you in the right direction like a compass. And once you have that happening, then you're able to make a move and go off on your own way. Now, the cool thing here is the Eight of Cups card always allows for some sort of a return. So even if you were going to make a change in your life that felt kind of major, this is telling me that there would always be a chance for you to perhaps come back or to retry something that you walked away from. So know that I don't get this sense of permanence here. I just think that you're ready for some sort of a change in your life, and I think that's going to be really, really positive if you embrace it. There is a challenge overall towards the beginning and middle of the month with resources. Your crowning card was the Five of Pentacles. It was reversed. The fear card, the opportunity card, is the Two of Pentacles, which is to bring balance to that feeling of not having enough or needing to recover or to repair. The outcome of this is full recovery, is abundance in all forms. And this is a very elevated version of what we saw at the center, which showed friends, family, and opportunity, but they were taking. This is you receiving. This is you in a place of being supported in all places. And again, this is love, this is money, this is resources, and it's a very supportive card. So I feel for you, really what's important is to decide what you want in your life, what is important to you, and then to bring balance to the decisions that you've been making that could have potentially pulled those priorities kind of out of balance. It could mean walking away from something, but it doesn't have to be the Ten of Swords. It can be the Eight of Cups. It can be a gentle, sort of graceful departure. The sooner the better, though, and that's where you can kind of avoid that moment where you kind of blow up or you can't take it, or your health comes through and it kind of creates either a tower moment or a death moment where you have no choice but to separate. So this is a month where you can change your life, take the steering wheel and make sort of a 90-degree angle and move into a different direction rather than having to do a U-turn. I feel like this is a slight course correction and it's going to bring you down a path that is much, much more abundant for you. I think we're going to get a lot more clarity as we take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. So let's go ahead and look at your expanded forecast. Let's take a look now at your health card. This is going to include a combination of mind, body, and spirit messages. And your message this month is to focus on the heart chakra. Not surprisingly, the card was in the reverse state, showing that there might be an imbalance in that. And I'm really drawn to the energy of the Ten of Swords here when I'm looking at the root of what could be happening. This can come through when there's a breakup, when there's a need to quit, when there's a need to somehow, again, separate and let go. And I think once you do that actual release in your life, then the pressure, the sort of fear, the anxiety that could be consolidating around the heart space is going to open up. Let's go ahead now and take a look at your wealth card and see what's coming through for money and opportunities this month. The message for wealth this month is that there is a change on the horizon. It feels like it's inevitable. The question is, when are you ready to allow this to come through, to take place? If we take a look at the spread one more time, you'll notice that I feel like for some of you, the decision is easy, but the ability to take action is what's sort of getting in the way here, because when I see Two of Swords, Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords, it's kind of like a black and white decision. But as I said earlier, I feel like some of you could be overthinking things and not feeling them enough. So take your time to weigh it out, but I would say towards the first week of the month, there should be a chance for you to make that leap of faith, and by the 7th or 8th, this is your chance to move in the right direction or take some sort of an action towards either asking for a raise, looking for a new job, setting up your business, or doing something that is going to allow, maybe going back to school. It feels like this is your chance, this is your time to take the steering wheel and make a change. So birthing doesn't have to just mean that it's going to happen this month or that you're going to do everything. It's planting the seed, making the phone call, or sending the email. So wherever you're at, whatever you like or don't like about this situation, I feel like there is room to grow, there is room to improve, definitely room to improve based on the cards that are in front of me. And I think that you could surpass your expectations. And so I want to encourage you to dream bigger, to think bigger, and to go after those dreams, because the sky is the limit. So I'm trying to kind of break through any sort of perceived limitations that you may have put upon yourself or other people maybe kind of transpose onto your energy, because I see some really great growth potential for you. So do something this month to expand, to push, to reach, and you're going to be grateful that you did that as the year progresses. Let's now take a look at love and relationships and see what additional messages come through in that part of the expanded forecast. A reminder that this isn't just about romance. I think love is a universal language and energy that we can use in all of our relationships. So this energy and this message is going to transcend just romantic ones. It's going to be all parts of your life. So we have a release card, and that really works nicely. I'm going to leave the camera down for a second. Release and the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, they're all the same sort of energy. It's time to walk away from that, because what it allows and what it does for you is it creates space for someone who can appreciate you, who can reward you, or who can take you to the next level. For some of you, there may not be a lot of pain associated with something, but there could be a sense of kind of holding on to something that you've outgrown. If you feel like that resonates for you, then I want you to really think about the dragonfly and some of the stuff that we talked about earlier with this card, which is there needs to be an ease this month in all parts of your life. You should feel like things are fluid, that they're flowing. And I think all relationships are work. Every sort of endeavor in your life that's worth something takes struggle. Sometimes you fail. Sometimes you fail a few times and keep working. But if you're constantly met with opposition, or it feels like it's just no longer positive, and it hasn't been for a while, spread those wings, move along, and allow something with more fluidity and ease to come into your life and to fill that void. Because just the act of releasing something doesn't mean that there's always going to be an absence. You're making space, you're allowing for healing, and then something new and elevated and hopefully much stronger and brighter can come in its stead. All right, let's go ahead now and we'll take a look at your destiny card. For me, this functions as a GPS, showing you the direction, the trajectory in which you are headed, and allowing you to course correct if you'd like, or to stay on that path if you're happy with the message. So let's give the cards a shuffle and see what's coming through for you. This card volunteered. Your message in destiny is that what you want wants you. Like attracts like. I want you to start to believe that you are exactly that which you seek. By the way, this card was reversed. I think it ties into the confidence issues that I saw here with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So let me break this down in just sort of day-to-day terms here, what this means. Basically, the card here and the universe is saying that it's time for you to move. There's something here that wants to come through. There's something that you feel like you're ready to do, but there's this sense of holding on to the past because the past is predictable, and this new opportunity could possibly be a little bit scary or puts you into a place where you're not sure of yourself. I need you to really be sure of who you want to become in order to bring through this wonderful abundance and this bounty that wants to happen. Anything that happened prior to now has created this sort of thicker skin, hopefully, for you. But for some of you, especially if you're a highly sensitive person, if you're empathic, if you're open, and you just kind of absorb some of this, you have a tendency to hold on to some of the pain from those experiences, and that's not allowing you to grow. So I would love for you today to sort of let it go. That's really I think the overarching theme, even though it came here in health, wealth, this was in your love area. I think the release card is the magical key that you need to sort of allow everything to happen. Let go of whatever hasn't been working. Let go of this indecision. Let go of the disbelief that you can't do it, and embrace the idea that not only can you do it, but whatever you're trying to create, this energy, this opportunity, this person, it also wants you too. So you have the power now to create it because you believe in yourself. And this is the moment of taking you from darkness to light. It's all about confidence, belief, and the courage to move forward. Whatever you're trying to create in your life, if you can really allow yourself to navigate with that as your compass, you're on a fabulous path, and I think that you have a lot of opportunity ahead of you, a lot of great abundance ahead of you. All right, let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about, beginning with the channeled information. I mentioned at the beginning that there was a need for you to dig a little bit deeper, to go beneath the surface. For some of you, this could mean also in a relationship, learning that there was something that you didn't expect. So take your time, trust your instincts, and know that they're not going to lead you astray this month. As we look at your catalyst, transformative energy of the dragonfly came through, which is reminding you that change can be easier than you think. And for some of you, it's just about making that leap of faith or taking that first step, which we talked about at great length today. There was also a message of needing to allow things to be easier. If there's something that feels way too difficult, and it's been that way for a while, then it ends up being its own sort of sign or signal that it's time to move on. At the center, we have the Ten of Cups. It is in the reverse state, which is reminding you to put up proper limits when it comes to people that are asking for your time or your energy. Say no if you need to. Allow other people to step in there. Really try to take care of your sleeping and waking schedule, and pay attention to any sort of stress that you're feeling in your body, knowing that the sooner you heal, the more you're going to be able to avoid any sort of long-term issues, or for those of you that might have chronic pain or fatigue, then you will be able to avoid that. We talked about the decision that you need to make, and really the key thing as we look at Deep Past is just to not get too much in your headspace. Feel with your heart and with your third eye this month, and perceive what you need to do, and just take that forward momentum and run with it. And that's really what we see here in the ego. And a reminder that space, taking space from something, having time and space to think about things, that's going to be really important to your mental health and also your decision-making ability this month. I want you to bring better balance, work-life balance, balance in your budget, and know that if there has been any sort of issues with not being employed or not being respected at your job, I see other opportunities on the horizon, and this is simply a nudge from the universe to move forward without delay. Remember to be gentle with yourself, particularly your heart this month, both in a physical sense and also in a sort of energetic sense. Focus on healing the heart chakra. Do things that help you express yourself. We have the 10 of Cups here, and we also have the 8 of Cups, but there's not a lot of other cards there that are showing release, happiness, levity. And I think one thing that could be really important this month is allowing for your heart space to open, to sing, and to be happy. All right, as we look at the rest of the expanded forecast here, we have in your wealth area, birthing. And for many of you, again, birthing is taking that first step. But in order to do that, we have to look at what is kind of holding on to your heartstrings here. It's interesting that we have a message of release when it comes to your love area, which can really be your relationship, not just with another person, but also with an environment like a job or a house or even a way of living. And so there's a need for you to let go of something in your life. For some of you, it could be a source of pain or discomfort, or there could be a little bit of fear about going into there. But the moment that you do that, that's when we have the breakthrough. That's when we see this card that reminds you what you want wants you. Again, going through the disbelief that this could be true and understanding that you have everything that you need to achieve this beautiful end that we're seeing here. So I just want you to really focus on that this month and realize that this is the month for change, and it can and will be easier than you think. So this brings your monthly reading to a close. I hope it gave you, in this case, the encouragement and also the insight to go from that place of being sort of afraid or being tethered to being free, to being untethered, to being able to jump into the light. And that really was the summary this month, Guru, from darkness to light. You have what it takes. It always was there. And I hope this month you can just really own that inner strength and that inner light. If you ever feel like you want to talk a little bit more in depth about anything that we covered here on a sort of high level, or if there's something unique that you're going through in your life, I'd be more than happy to chat with you. You can click on the first card in this video or the first link right below it, and you can check out my rates and availability. If that's something that works for you, then I'm looking forward to talking to you. Otherwise, I mentioned at the beginning, if you like everything that you see here, it's very much viewer supported. And something as small as $1 can make a big difference for me, whether it's one-time donation or you join me on Patreon and it's month to month. So click on that second card or the second link if you would like to really help make this channel successful and healthy and see it stick around for a while. And again, I just named a couple ways that you can do that. You can also, again, just do a one-time donation through my website. All of that information will be in the second card and the second link. But if you just want to say thank you and share this message in a different way, you can do that by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and joining me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I also have a newsletter. The third link and the third card is a way to connect to all of those different platforms. And I just want to say that I really do appreciate all of you that have shared this with others. As I'm talking about today, a lot of what I do here is really like life coaching as well. And I try to kind of look at the intuitive energy for the month and help change the planet for the good and help kind of shift you from darkness to light. That's my goal as well. So I'd love for you to share this if it resonated with you, and know that that advocacy really means a lot to me, and it's just as helpful as any of the previous methods that I mentioned of supporting the channel. Finally, I like to really bring one point home each month and sort of give like a sign-specific message. For you, I think I already highlighted it. I'm looking at these two cards and I just want to mention them one more time. Change, growth, and freedom is kind of wanting to come through, but there's a sense to believe in yourself and to go after it. And so whatever you want to create in your life, whatever you want to birth, whatever you sort of see out there, you have a chance this month. Once you release the fear, the doubt, the frustration, the obligation, whatever it could be that might be holding you back from that, then there's so much beauty, so much abundance that's waiting around the corner. Thank you for allowing me to be here for the last almost half hour or so. It means a lot. You have a lot of choices here on YouTube and in life as well. So it really humbles me that you allowed me to be a part of your soul journey. Until we meet again, thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. I'm sending you a lot of heartfelt love, light, and gratitude. Until next month.